All right, today we're going to dive into a really big idea, a fundamental shift in how we think about achieving our goals. It's not about what you do, it's about who you're becoming.
You've heard this a million times, right? This idea that success is all about that one massive breakthrough. The overnight success story, that one big break, the single moment that changes everything. It makes for a great movie, but let's be real, it's mostly a myth.
But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if the way we've all been taught to think about self-improvement is actually holding us back? Like we're searching for the answer in completely the wrong place. Okay, so first up, the myth of breakthroughs. Let's just tear down this whole idea of the grand gesture. You know that phrase, go big or go home? Well, what if that advice is the very reason so many of us end up, well, going home? Because here's the truth. Real, lasting change doesn't come from some massive earthquake. No, it's built slowly, brick by brick, one day at a time. We're talking about those tiny 1% actions you take every single day. They seem almost invisible at first, but man, do they compound into something huge over time. So if we're not just sitting around waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike, what's actually powering these daily actions? Well, that brings us to the real engine of progress, having solid systems. Just think about it for a second. Motivation? It's like that friend who's super fun but completely unreliable. When it shows up, it's amazing, but it can ghost you at any moment. Systems, though, systems are different. They're what you fall back on when that motivation just isn't there. They are the bedrock, the procedures that make progress happen almost automatically, no matter what your mood is. And this quote just nails it. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your routines. That is so powerful. It's not your big, lofty goals that define your success. It's your systems. Because on your absolute worst day, you're not going to magically hit your highest ambition. Nope. You're going to fall right back to whatever your default routine is. Okay, this all leads us to what I think is the most powerful concept of all. This is the real game changer. It's what I call the identity shift. It's about moving from wanting something to being someone. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stop focusing on what I want? That's crazy. We're always told to set goals, visualize the prize, right? But just hang with me here. Let's challenge that for a second. Because the real focus shouldn't be on some finish line way off in the future. It's about who you're becoming right now in this very moment. The goal shifts from achieving a result to embodying an identity. And look at how this plays out. It's a subtle but massive difference in language. Saying, I want to get fit is fine. It's an outcome. But when you say, I'm the type of person who trains, that's a statement about who you are. Suddenly, working out isn't some awful chore you have to do. It's just you being you. It feels natural because your actions are lining up with your identity. Okay, so that sounds great, but how do we actually build this new identity? Well, it's actually pretty simple, and it's all wrapped up in this really cool metaphor. Every action you take is a vote. What do I mean by a vote? Think of it as any tiny action that proves you are who you say you are. Every time you do one of these things, you're basically sending yourself a little piece of evidence. You're making that new identity more and more real. And the process for casting these votes? Super straightforward. Step 1, decide on the person you want to be. Step 2, prove it to yourself. And I mean with a tiny, almost ridiculously small win. Then step 3, just do it again and again. You're just stacking up the evidence day by day. So let's say you do just one push-up. The point isn't to get ripped today. The point is to cast a vote that says, hey, I'm the kind of person who works out. Or maybe you read just one page of a book. You're not trying to finish the whole thing. You're just casting a single vote for, I am a learner. And this is where it all comes together. See, one single vote on its own, it doesn't feel like a big deal. But those votes, they add up. After a month, you've got 30 votes. After a year, you've got 365 votes. At that point, you haven't just done a bunch of small things. You've basically won a landslide election for your new identity. The evidence is just overwhelming. All right, let's wrap this up and look at the big picture. What we're really talking about here is a whole new way of thinking about personal growth. It's like upgrading your entire operating system, one that's built around your identity, not just your goals. So what's the takeaway? First, forget the massive breakthroughs. Second, build systems you can depend on, not flaky motivation. Third, focus on who you are becoming, not just what you want. And finally, the most important part, cast a small vote for that identity every single day.
And that's really it. But in a way, it's just the beginning, right? So I'm going to leave you with one final question to really chew on. What's one tiny vote, just one, that you can cast for your future self today?